Hello friends and welcome. Today I want to talk about blocking and unblocking the pole camps. They're still important in this current patch, but the spawn boxes have changed a little bit and the trees have changed, so I want to make sure you guys are still covering this with the least amount of sentries possible. So in terms of unblocking this camp, you can do it with one sentry. We're going to take advantage of the fact that the tower is blocking or checking this bottom right corner for us, and so we can put the sentry on the top side of the box and then a little bit to the left. This will cover the whole box, all this stuff obviously, but in the bottom left and the bottom right, we want to make sure we're getting all these corners, and it's a little finicky. You're going to have to be careful with this sentry placement. If you do it in the bottom box, you'll kind of notice it's sort of possible. You just have to be very careful. You have to be like very much so in the middle of the box, and you should cover all the corners like so. So you will see both these edges, but you have to just be like very careful in the middle. If you do it from this side, you have a little bit more leeway moving to the left because the tower helps you, so you don't have to spend as long getting like right in the middle of the box. Now, downside to putting it on this side is that if the enemy sentry is on this side, you do have to spend time walking over here to go find it, and in that time, the 4 support or the offlaner, who knows, they could walk over and they could kill your sentry while you're doing this and trying to find their sentry somewhere over here, which, as you can see, these are some good spots down here in this very corner. Some people don't realize that this tree isn't blocking the very bottom of the corner. Just move your mouse very slowly into this corner and you can put a sentry there. If you go a little higher, the tree's blocking. So many people aren't using this corner because they think it's not possible, but it is. And then behind this tree, just to be like extra annoying, make people walk all the way around to try to find it. And then this right corner, I'm seeing a lot of people get like kind of lazy with it and kind of like put this a little bit to the left because they're like, yeah, the tower's gonna help me get it, right? But it actually leaves that gap that you see right there, which if I go ahead and kill this sentry and then I come down here, this gap, right, the sentry's not catching it. So you can then put your sentry in this spot here and kind of hope that they're putting it over here. The benefit of putting your sentry over here is that it will reveal this cliff for you, which has been pretty popular, I've noticed, in this bottom half of the map, this lane. Many people like putting this observer, and I mean, it makes sense. It provides really great vision of all the camps here and all like the mid coming in, the 4 roaming for the bounty rune, stuff like that. So this ward is really nice. And so if your sentry placement can catch it, then great. And I don't really need to talk about blocking the camp because I kind of just showed you. You could cut some trees to kind of like surprise them, like put it in a weird spot, but it doesn't really matter. One sentry can catch the whole box. So I would just place your bets on this bottom left corner, this corner right by the tower, or this corner right here. Any of those, there's a chance they miss it, but they should technically get all of it. For the hard camp, it is once again impossible to cover this with a single sentry without putting it in the middle. If you want to kind of just take the risk, I would say put it on the right side and put it a little higher, like so, because some common spots to block this camp are in this tree line in here because it's out of sight, so it makes you have to walk in there to go find it. Behind this tree line, looks like it shouldn't be possible because of this tree, but if you move your mouse slowly, again, you can block it here, make them walk all the way around as the 4 support, or you can try to like put it back here so that they just happen to not see it. The rest kind of, it's kind of out in the open, so you can put them in the corners hoping to just make them miss if they are trying to guess left or the right side. You can stick it in these kind of corners if you want. It's just up to your personal preference, but just to show you those spots so you can see it, we can put those sentries down. So in the corners, sure, and then on this side, you got this corner. Behind this tree line, you have this area back here. You can put them between this tree line. I don't really think it, makes that much sense because you can kind of see it here. I'd rather put it like back here or last spot in here. You can't put it in this top left corner without cutting a tree, which could be something sneaky you ask your cores to do, right? Maybe cut this tree without them noticing. Without them noticing, and then you kind of can put a sentry like right in here, and maybe they won't realize that the tree has been cut because no one really knows the map right now, so they might end up putting their sentry here because they've watched this video, and then you snuck away in this top left corner. And even if they do walk up and find it, they still have to walk around to get over to this sentry spot and then kill it. If you're a hard support on the dire side, I would recommend this sentry placement back here. It is out of sight. It blocks the entire box, which is much smaller, so you really don't have to worry about where you place it. If you think they have like a sentry over here, then this left side to unblock your camp can be good, or you think they have an observer up here, then somewhere on this top edge of the box, great. But if you just want your sentry to survive because this camp is really important, you want the best chance to unblock it and keep it unblocked, then go ahead and put your sentry back here because it's out of sight. So if the 4 support comes and puts their sentry after yours, they may miss it unless they walk over to check, which at that point they're just wasting more time, or it's not really a waste, but they're spending more time doing all this, so at least you get that extra time in the lane to do a bit more harass. So it's just annoying for them. I like this spot a lot in terms of blocking the camp. Again, any of the corners, I didn't put them up here, but you can imagine it. Any of these corners, or there's actually one back here right now, which I think is a cool one. This watcher, right, doesn't actually see this corner. It looks like it. So if you're the 5 support right now, you think, oh yeah, I can see the whole box, right? So, if you don't see a sentry now, you think that it just must not be blocked. Maybe they body blocked it or something, and you walk away, and then it's still blocked. But you actually have to walk back here and find the sentry in this corner, or not really corner. It's behind these trees, but also not in vision of the watcher. So I like this spot if you're blocking this camp. Otherwise, any of the corners is good. And when you are blocking this camp, make sure you come and check back here. If you're a carry, by the way, or you just have tree cutting abilities, go ahead and cut some of these trees to make it easier for your 5 to unblock this camp. For the dire hard camp, the best place, I would say, in general, is going to be down here, because if the 5 support wants to stop you, this crystal ditch prevents them from easily moving over, so they either have to walk away around this way, which is going to waste some time, or they walk through here to try to get to you and get your sentry, but that might sandwich them between the offlaner and yourself, which could be good. So back here is pretty solid, but if you do want vision of the lane, because you're dealing with Weaver, Bounty Hunter, stuff like that, on this left side can also cover the entire box. So left is fine, or if you think they have an observer somewhere over here for whatever reason, then you can put it on this top side. You get the whole box wherever you put it. I mean, not wherever, but you have your options here. But what I want to point out here is that for blocking this camp, back here, and very specifically where I have it placed, is really solid. Now, if you're dealing with a ranged 4 support, then this is not going to stop them. They walk over here and they get it, but it is a little dangerous because if you're the 4 support, this is your lane, you're walking all the way over here, you might get attacked by the carry and the hard support. So even against ranged carries, it's annoying for them to deal with if they don't cut these trees. But against melee heroes, so let's use Ogre, this ditch actually prevents him from attacking this. So even though he sees it here and he wants to get it, he needs to walk closer. And then when he walks closer, he actually loses sight of it. And you can try to hug the tree line to get vision of it. And if they don't place it carefully, you will sometimes get vision. So especially here, sandwich yourself between these trees and you can kind of see this small edge right around here. But where I have it placed is not visible to melee heroes without having any of these trees cut. So this is a really nice spot. It is just to the left of this top tree and slightly up. There's probably a little bit of wiggle room there, but that's where I have it placed, just right around here, if that helps. I don't know, right? You may just have to try this. If you mess it up a couple times, no big deal, right? It's not the end of the world. This camp does tend to get unblocked eventually. But this is really nice just to mess with people, make them waste a tango, or make the offlaner run over. And if you're an offlaner, cut one of these trees for your support if you want them to have access to this camp. That's it, a quick and easy one today. Thank you for watching. I know some of you have been asking for a tier list of supports and a meta update stuff to do. I'm working on it, I promise. I just wanted to give the meta some time and myself some time to try out the heroes, try out the different meta ideas, because I want to give you guys proper information, not just lie my way through it. So it is on the way. I know the patch is confusing. I'm confused too, so I just wanted to take some time on it. But it will be coming out hopefully soon. Thank you for watching, and I will maybe see you there. Bye.